There is still no trade agreement between the UK and the EU, and a no-deal Brexit is looming in the air. The population reacts as usual with dry humour. Brexit is coming, this time presumably really and fully. The UK formally left the EU at the end of January. At the end of the year, the transition period should also end, during which everything essential has remained the same. 4.5 years after the EU referendum in the summer of 2016, the UK is leaving the EU internal market and the customs union and entering uncharted waters. And since London and Brussels have not yet been able to agree on a trade agreement, there is still a risk of an unregulated no-deal scenario. Such a situation would have particularly dramatic impact on the Dover region in southeast England. Most of the goods traffic with mainland Europe runs through this. The ferry connection between Dover and Calais in France was used by more than 2 million cars, 74,000 buses and 2.4 million trucks last year. With the Le Shuttle service, around 1.6 million trucks passed the Eurotunnel to Calais from nearby Folkestone last year. Additional customs and goods controls will be necessary from January, and they are likely to cause considerable delays. In a leaked letter to freight forwarders, Cabinet Secretary Michael Gove recently warned that up to 7,000 trucks could be stuck off Dover every day for up to 2 days early next year. I made a video completely about this, so have a look in the playlist. To avoid backlogs of dozens of kilometers, and highly embarrassing for the government on the motorways, a new customs clearance and truck parking area has been under construction near Ashford, around half an hour's drive from Dover since the summer. And by the way, some newspapers are reporting with this now with satellite pictures where you really can see the space they're using. Up to 1,500 trucks should have space on the area, which is as large as 37 soccer fields. And the government still seems unsure whether that's enough. Therefore, a regular truck parking lot in the vicinity is currently being converted into another stopping place for customs clearance. Up to 10 such plans are reportedly planned across the country. As usual, the British take it with a dry sense of humour. In an online petition, 28,000 British people are already calling for the truck parking lot to be renamed Farage Garage after right-wing populist Nigel Farage. Although I believe that name already set with the people. I hear that often and I read it that often in my comments. As a head of the United Kingdom Independence Party, the UKIP, he campaigned for years to see the UK leave the EU. Today he's pushing for the hardest possible Brexit with his Brexit party. And he's already on the way to another kind of party, which is a rename or maybe more than a rename. So it would be only appropriate if every truck driver, every commuter and every resident had the opportunity to relate this fine example of civil engineering to the real hero of Brexit, writes the author of the petition. For Brexit opponents, there's even more reason for ridicule and malicious glee. The reason? An announcement by Cabinet Minister Gove a few weeks ago. According to this, all truck drivers coming from the UK to the EU will need an additional permit from next year in order to be allowed to enter the county of Kent at all. A resourceful French Twitter user then thanked Michael Gove on behalf of France for returning the county to his country. Just a little bit more of this, and that's hashtag Brexit turmoil, and England will be French again. So he used another hashtag Make England France again. Several other UK ports are also preparing for the changes to come. The calculation? If the movement of goods in Dover bottleneck stalled and Great Britain expanded its trade with countries like the USA in the future, they could possibly benefit. In recent years, the port operator Pier Ports has invested around £400 billion in the expansion of the port of Liverpool, the largest transatlantic port in the country. The satellite images I mentioned show how the Liverpool 2 terminal was expanded as well. In addition, another deep water container terminal is currently being built that will be able to handle some of the largest container ships in the world. In the past few months, several new ferry connections have also been added, including to Portugal and Spain. However, it should not be completely smooth from the start in Liverpool. Local media reports of staff shortages, which could also lead to congestion and delays in Liverpool. Under certain circumstances, this could quickly put off newly acquired customers, according to the report. Richard Kemp, who sits on Liverpool City Council for the Brexit critical Liberal Democrats, said, "After the government promised us an open-ended agreement and smooth borders last year, this farce-like situation shows what huge problems are Brexit and what huge problems will worry freight forwarders." And if you are not a subscriber of my channel yet, please don't forget to do it, and I'll see you in my next video. Click and enjoy. Viel Spaß!